Of course, on all adventures, on all journeys, there are challenges and there are transition times. And it's just to know that when you're having a challenging day or you're having a time of transition, not to judge your development on those days. That these challenges, they come for a reason, and usually to gift us just that little bit more, just that little bit more. So challenges, let's think about how that may arise. So self-sabotage is one of the ways. We may have a day where we eat more than we want to, or we haven't cared for ourselves in a way we wanted to, or we just want to give up and crawl under the duvet. Or it may be something that we've promised ourselves that we will stop, and we just have a day where we feel very drawn to returning to that old habit. So for myself, one of the big things was smoking. That I wasn't a regular smoker. I didn't smoke every day, and there's nothing wrong with smoking. I wasn't judging the smoking. It was the feeling that smoking gave me. So if something external happened in my life that made me feel shit, then I would go and buy some cigarettes and smoke them because it expanded that feeling. So something had happened that had caused hurt, that had triggered something, and then I would go and make that feeling more and drown in it. And we can do this with cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, food, self-harm. So what I started to do is notice the feeling before I reached out. So we can all have this idea, okay, I'm going to give up smoking. Okay, I'm going to stop eating cheese. Okay, I'm going to stop eating crisps. Okay, I'm going to stop downing a bottle of wine every night. Whatever it may be that you know is some way of self-sabotage. But we can't really take the action until that moment is happening. So we've made that conscious choice, and that's the first step, and that's wonderful. But then we have to be so present that we are able to change the course of action in that moment. So, for example, back to the cigarettes. There came a day where I noticed the feeling before I went to go and get my shoes to go and buy the cigarettes, because they weren't something I had in the house. So I had to actually make the effort to go and get them. And there was the feeling, and it was in my heart. And I just lay my hand on my heart and I spoke to this feeling as if it was a child. And it was a child part of me that felt rejected and abandoned. And because that part of me felt so rejected and abandoned, then I would create the smoking. I would reach out and grab this thing that actually the smell of it repulsed me so much and taste repulsed me so much that I would feel more rejected and abandoned, like I was creating this smelly smoke field around me to tell myself that feeling was truth, that I deserved to be abandoned and rejected. So it's about noticing in the moment before you reach out. So there's a desire for the crisps, and it's just like, oh, there it is, it's there. And what part of me, put your hand on that part of you, whether it's your belly, your heart, your throat, and have a conversation with it, just as you would have a conversation with a child. And your body will tell you. Your body has an intelligence. and it wants to come into that balance, into that natural state, into that natural flow, so that it can be at optimum health and can thrive. And when we have these little things that cause us to self-sabotage, we are sabotaging our body on some level. So our body wants to help us and wants to speak to us and tell us what it is that we believe that makes us reach out as self-sabotage. So that's our challenges and our self-sabotage. Of course, there may be days where you just want to crawl under the duvet and stay there because we're going through a transition. And we don't really give transition time the space that it needs, or recognize the value of transition. So and we just want to get to B. So it's like a car journey. We're here and we want to get here. And we're not really taking in the journey. Now on the journey from A to B, we may be that we want to take a break, that we need to take time away from that car journey to sleep, to rest our bones, to restore, just to pause and reflect. And then we will feel, okay, I'm now ready. Now, transition time allows us to take these pauses to reflect, to restore, to rest, to integrate, so that we're ready for the next part. Otherwise, if we go from here to here, in just like that, with no transition time and not valuing transition time, then something will be incomplete, because we can't go from the vibration, the energetics of here, to wholly being in the energetics of here. It's an impossibility. And we need to take this time where we adapt a little, we shift a little. And sometimes it will feel like, oh, we've just gone back a little. But we haven't gone back all the way. We just had to reverse and back up and park a little, and then we'll move on. So just to honor transition time, it's giving you time for integration, to shift patterns, for everything in your system to release old habits and adapt. And challenges, noticing the challenges, because the self-sabotage particularly, you will notice that it reveals another part of you that is just asking to be loved, and it revealing another part of you that under those layers of not good enough, not lovable, not touchable, the rejection, the abandonment, there'll be a part of you that is just so magnificent, so amazing, so beautiful, so creative, that we've just lost along the way. And this whole part of body love is that we're coming into this wholeness of who we are. Here's our body, and it's the container of everything that we are, all the facets of the amazing person you are, just beautifully held in your skin and bones and flesh, and that beauty just exudes, radiates out effortlessly. So we have to meet those little parts of us, and it may feel like a challenge, but another one of my favourite sayings is that out of shit grows beautiful roses. And it's just so true, that in every challenge, every moment of darkness, every cloudy day, there's always something very beautiful that emerges out of that. If we just change our perception a little bit, don't go down the road of story, don't go down the road of wallowing, and just be with it and listen. Just listen to what's being offered to you. Then we have an opportunity to grow.